War is often described as hell on earth. But what if, during the chaos of the Second World War, some soldiers became something less than human? Stories of zombified soldiers, soldiers who felt no pain, obeyed commands blindly, and kept fighting even when mortally wounded, have spread for decades. Are these tales pure legend, or could there be a dark truth behind them? The myth of the WW2 zombies. Many urban legends describe soldiers in the German army who reportedly fought long after being fatally shot, or Soviet troops who charged fearlessly through machine gun fire. In some retellings, they were said to be drugged, reanimated, or even victims of secret experiments. While the word zombie comes from Haitian folklore, describing people controlled by dark magic, World War II gave rise to a scientific version of the idea. Humans turned into emotionless, tireless fighters through chemistry or experimentation. Nazi experiments and the so-called super soldier project. It's well documented that Nazi Germany conducted horrifying experiments on prisoners in concentration camps. Among them were efforts to create the so-called Übermensch, the superhuman. Researchers tested stimulants such as Pervitin, an early form of methamphetamine, yes, crystal meth, which was distributed to German soldiers under the brand name Pervitin pills. The goal? To keep soldiers awake, alert, and fearless for days without rest. And it worked, to a degree. During the invasion of France in 1940, entire divisions of German soldiers stayed awake for over 3 days straight, advancing non-stop. But the price was terrible. Hallucinations, aggression, and total emotional numbness. These soldiers, pumped full of drugs, acted without fear or empathy, a state eerily close to what we might call zombified. The Allies did it too. The use of performance-enhancing drugs wasn't unique to the Axis powers. British and American pilots were given Benzedrine, another type of amphetamine, to boost alertness on long missions. Japanese soldiers, too, used Philipon, a meth-based stimulant. So while no side created true zombies, all sides produced chemically altered humans. Soldiers who could fight beyond natural human limits at the cost of their sanity. Rumors of the dead who walked. In the fog of war, soldiers often witnessed things they couldn't explain. A man hit by multiple bullets might still keep charging forward, driven by adrenaline or drugs. In the chaos, such scenes could easily turn into supernatural tales. Later, when civilians or journalists heard these stories, they began calling these men zombie soldiers. And in the decades that followed, these rumors merged with Cold War paranoia, leading to conspiracy theories that Nazi or Soviet scientists had tried to reanimate the dead through chemical or electrical means. Some stories even claimed that Unit 731, Japan's infamous biological warfare division, experimented with reanimation, though no evidence supports this. Science or superstition? Let's be clear. There is no scientific proof that anyone was ever reanimated from the dead during World War II. But there is strong evidence that psychological trauma, drug use, and propaganda combined to create the illusion of zombie-like behavior. Sleep-deprived soldiers on methamphetamine, covered in mud, eyes glazed, bodies trembling, and moving mechanically through ruins, it's easy to see how the legend began. The human mind, especially under stress, fills gaps with imagination. The real walking dead of war. The real zombies of World War II were not monsters. They were broken humans. Millions of men returned home with shell shock, PTSD, and deep psychological scars. They walked, talked, and breathed, but felt detached from reality, haunted by what they had seen and done. These were the true walking dead, victims of a war that consumed their humanity. Conclusion. So, did zombie-like humans exist during World War II? Not in the supernatural sense, but through drugs, trauma, and the darkness of human experimentation, the line between man and monster was often blurred. The myth of zombie soldiers is not about the undead. It's about how war itself can turn living people into something unrecognizable. In the end, the real horror isn't in the idea of the dead coming back. It's in how easily the living can lose their souls.